Well, we've had her on the show many times. Parenting writer and blogger, and now author, thank you very much, of Meltdown in Aisle 5, Samantha Kemp Jackson. Yay, your first book!
Yes, it's an ebook, and I'm very happy about it.
Oh, that's, well, the ebooks are the way to go, man.
They are.
Yeah, because you can load them up on your tablet, and then you read them wherever you are.
You're ready to go, yeah.
I love that. So this is taken from some of the stuff that you've written over the years, the wisdom that you have gathered, yes?
The wisdom that I've gathered. So as you know, I talk a lot about parenting advice and tips, how to deal with play dates, how to deal with sleepovers, all types of things, traveling with kids. So a lot of times people would ask me for my advice, and I thought, let me compile my best tips and advice into one place. So,
because you know where you're coming from. Not only do you have several kids, but you've also got a set of twins in there.
Yeah.
So you have some expertise coming at it from a bunch of different angles.
I absolutely do, and I know that when you have twins, it actually sets the stage for a lot of parenting wisdom that you get to learn along the way.
Yes, the wisdom comes after.
It comes after
the gray hair and
absolutely. There you go.
No, you look fine, kidding. You've obviously figured it out. So let's talk about the holidays, because there's a lot of sugar around.
Yes.
There's the stress of getting everything ready. You can even cause a meltdown just decorating the tree, for heaven's sake. So
absolutely.
How do we survive the holidays with our kids?
So what we need to do is we as parents need to set the stage, Val, for our kids. So when our kids see us completely stressed out and feeling very anxious, it permeates the whole environment and they get stressed out. So even if you can fake it, try to act like everything's okay, and your kids will pick up on that, and that'll make things a little bit better.
And that could be if you're stressed about money.
Money, and that's another thing too. You know, there's so many commercials that we see on TV now. Kids think they're going to have this great extravaganza of presents and toys because everywhere they turn they see holiday advertisements. So set the stage with them, and also manage their expectations and tell them that, you know, you're going to have a great Christmas and it's all about spending time with family and loving each other, and yes, you'll get a couple of presents, but maybe not like on TV.
And that hadn't occurred to me. I just thought that kids naturally assumed they weren't going to get everything, but I was surprised when given a catalog, a toy catalog, and a pen. Here you go, circle some of the stuff that you want. We'll let Santa know. Virtually every single thing was circled. She thought that whole entire book was going to be
for her.
on the tree for her. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're right. You've got to kind of set the stage and say, oh no.
Pick one or two things from this book, and perhaps Santa will bring it for you.
That's what we ended up finally doing.
Absolutely.
All right. So manage expectations. Sometimes we take on too much, right?
Yes. And you know what? It's okay to ask for help. I think we as parents, we often think that we can do it all and we can manage it all, and we can't do it all. We're only human. So, you know, if grandma wants to take the kids for the weekend, or if your neighbor wants to take the kids, or you want to set up a mutual play date with another friend so you can trade off your kids and have a little bit of spare time to do your Christmas shopping, to do your holiday baking, then that's perfectly fine. We shouldn't feel guilty about it, because we always do as parents, right?
Absolutely.
We think we can do it all.
And sometimes they want to have your kid over to distract their kid so they can get stuff done,
and sometimes it's easier. I find that when my daughter has a play date, even at our house, the two of them are occupied. So it gives me a little bit of time instead of my daughter asking me, what are we doing now, Mom?
Oh, exactly. What about a game plan? Should we be setting things up in our minds or even on paper ahead of time?
Well, I do think that it's good to have some kind of activities planned for kids, because as you know, over the holidays, oftentimes kids are off school, so there's a good 2 weeks, sometimes 2.5, 3 weeks, where the kids are at home, and let's face it, we're all going squirrely. So perhaps that's a good time to kind of look at what activities can we do in the city. Are there any things that we can do at the community center, the recreation center? It doesn't have to be expensive, but you know, it can keep the kids busy.
And it would also, if you're doing maybe some volunteer stuff?
Volunteer stuff is wonderful. I think at this time of the year, I think that's a great point. So take them to volunteer, go to a food bank, pack some groceries, and give back to the community, because at the end of the day, that's what the holidays are about. It's not really about the material stuff.
Have you ever had the experience of going shopping for a toy that's for a donation? Is that a good idea to do with your kid, or is that asking for trouble?
You know what? I actually think it's a really good idea, because it teaches kids selflessness, and that it doesn't have to always be about them. And yes, they can still get the presents that they circled in the catalog, but we can also make sure that some other child gets a nice holiday too, and that they get 1 or 2 gifts.
Thinking about something, somebody other than themselves. And at the end of the day, can we just kind of let stuff go?
I think we can let stuff go. So I think that within reason, if the kids want to stay up a little bit later so they can watch another Christmas movie, or if they've had, a play date that's gone a little bit longer, don't be too hard and fast about getting them to bed right on time. Let them stay up a little bit longer.
Are you sure? Even on a school night?
Yeah, plus this time of year, they're not doing a lot at school anyway.
What's the absolute drop dead time for sugar? When, at the end, what time, just like we don't have coffee after 3 o'clock in the afternoon, when should you not be serving sugar?
Well, let's put it this way. If you're going to have a late dinner, maybe forego the dessert for the kids after dinner because, they'll be up all night.
Your book is available now, and it's got not just holiday advice, but all kinds of stuff in there.
It's got all kinds of stuff. It's got travel, it's got play dates, it's got everything but the kitchen sink. There's actually a chapter called Everything But the Kitchen Sink, and it's available on Amazon.
And it's such good advice because it's real, it's workable, it's realistic, right? And it comes from your own experience. So
comes from my experience.
It's not somebody without kids who took a course, right? Who thinks they're an expert. You really are.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, it's practical advice that's very easily implemented, so definitely a great handbook for any parent looking for advice.
Where do we get it?
We can get it at Amazon.ca or Amazon.com, and it's not just for Kindle. If you don't have a Kindle, there's a Kindle Reader app that you can download and read it.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
MultipleMayhemMama.com has all of those details as well,
it does.
right? And go there for advice for anything you need. Thank you so much.
Thanks
and
for having me.
congratulations.
Thanks.
Now here's Rob, one of our volunteers with your community events.